I started off my education or my background in this profession started off in junior college, and then I transferred to the University of Florida in North Central Florida, which really it was back then and still remains one of the top schools for what we do for broadcasting and journalism. They're tops in the Southeast and among the top 2, 3, or 4 schools in the country for that. So the experience I got down there in Gainesville was invaluable. In fact, we put on a nightly half-hour newscast that was seen in a 16-county area in North Central Florida. And when I say we, it was mainly student-run. It was the students who were the reporters, the photographers, the anchors, the producers of the newscast. Really, the only faculty that was involved was the assignment editor and the news director. So we got a lot of good hands-on experience, which got me ready and prepared for my first job right out of school. I was one of the lucky ones that was able to land on my feet immediately. I graduated in April from college, and by June I was working in Savannah, Georgia. I got a job at WSAV as the weekend sports anchor, weekday reporter. And then not very long after that, several months into my stay there in Savannah, the sports director left, and I was promoted to sports director, and I worked there for 3 years before coming here to Knoxville.
My best friend of 20 years, Doug Wood, decided that we needed to go to this broadcasting college and be DJs. I first thought I was going to be a DJ, and that he basically dragged me into this. And once we got dragged into it, we both got a taste for it. He works for WTNZ, Fox 43. He's the me of Fox 43, the creative services director over there. But we both went to college at the same time, got a taste for it and a love for it, and this is what we wanted to do.
I figured by the time I was 25, I'd be in a bigger city doing something else. I figured by the time I was 40, I'd be general manager. Just didn't work out that way. I wound up thinking I like having my hands on the equipment. I'm pretty much what you'd call a nerd or a geek as far as equipment goes. New equipment comes in the building, I'm already around it going, okay, what is this? What can I do? Yeah, so where I'm very comfortable I am. I do like being in production, master control, because your hands are on the equipment. And master control now is basically automated, run by computer. So if you're in the computers, you're in the right business, because basically computers run our TV station right now. Years ago, everything was done by human bodies. Everything had to be done. Now everything's computer. If you know how to program a computer, you're on your way.
This is a kind of business that can be very transient, meaning when you first start in a job, chances are in television, in radio or whatever, you're going to start low and work your way up. Well, in television, those are very small towns. It could be anywhere from Jackson, Mississippi to somewhere in Fargo, North Dakota that's got a small little TV station, and you get bigger and bigger and bigger. And with that comes extra responsibilities, more money, and so forth.
Time just rolls on and different things happen. No, to answer your question in a word, no. Most people, who come in to this business, they have aspirations of going, to the top or to the bigger markets, and really the bigger the market you go to, the more money you can possibly make. But one thing or another happens. I got married. Then you get a house, then you have a kid, then you get another house, then you have another kid, and the next thing you know, it's 15, 20 years down the road. Plus, the region of the country that you live in has a lot to do with that. My wife and I fell in love with East Tennessee, and could think of a lot worse places to be and to be raising a family. So that's played a huge role.
If I had to do it all over again, I would go to either UT or even Pellissippi State. Pellissippi State has a tremendous video program. We've gotten some of our best employees and greatest interns from Pellissippi and even UT. Let someone who knows what they're doing teach you how to do it. Don't go into it thinking you know everything there is to know, because you don't. When you get out in the real world and get to know clients and salespeople and the different people, and then you think, boy, they didn't teach you this in class. So hands-on experience, in my opinion, is what you need to really get to be able to grasp what you're going to be doing for, I guess, the rest of your life.
The other interesting and now somewhat difficult aspect of what we do, and something this dinosaur has had to adapt to is the internet. Years ago, when I went through my training for this business, there was no such thing as the internet. But now we have, and like most businesses do, we have our own website. We call it our web channel, volunteertv.com. And we not only, compete against other TV stations, but we also compete against all other broadcast entities in town. We want to be up to date as much as possible and first with whatever bit of news or sports or weather information that we can possibly have. So it's a very interesting thing because not only are we preparing for our on-air look, but on a daily basis we try to put forth our best effort for our website look as well. So that's become an interesting challenge to the business of broadcasting.
One thing you guys in high school have going for you is youth. You can start out in one thing thinking, well, I really want to do this, and decide 2 or 3 years later you don't. So if you decide, hey, I want to get TV, it sounds like fun, or radio, and you get into it and decide, I'm not really into that, don't be upset. Youth is basically on your side. Look and see what field you're interested in. What's your background? If you're into computers, maybe you want to think about a job in computers. If you're a person who's like cut up or into being out and seeing about everybody, maybe you want to have a job in TV. It just depends. But always just see what your interests are and see, well, I want to be a fireman, well, I want to be on TV, do I want to go into the Army, do I want to go to school for 4 years and then decide, do that. Just take your time, but be sure about your career and make some decisions, talk to people, go to places like, well, say if you're interested in a TV job, go to a TV station and have somebody, maybe you can arrange a tour, go around and see how people do things at a TV station, or maybe you want to be a football coach, maybe just anything like that. Just think about what you want to do and decide if that's for you, and if not, it's America. You got plenty of things you can do out there that are successful.
One Man Films